Well, hello and welcome to Knife Delights. This is a Sodbuster Sunday. Yeah, that's an open tag that was put out by Hunting for Hookers. He said, show us your Sodbusters and tell a little story maybe. So, what to expect out of this video? Well, I'm briefly going to go over the history of the Sodbuster, patterned by Case. And then Mrs. Knife Delights and I took a drive this afternoon, and we're going to talk about kind of the origins of the term Sodbuster. And we also have some terrific scenery and some wildlife footage to show you. So if you're interested in taking a drive with Mrs. KD and I, why, hang around. This is going to be kind of brief. I only have one Sodbuster, and it happens to be the Junior. So the Sodbuster obviously is bigger. So what's the origins of the Sodbuster pattern? Well, depending on what you read, where you look, it may have its origins over in Europe, I think in Germany, and it was kind of a folding butcher knife. Now I went to Levine's guide, and what he has to say is sometime before World War I, German firms such as J.A. Hinkels and F. Herder began to make large, simple, lightweight, clasp-type folders with wood handles and no bolsters. Although Union Cutlery copied this German style, Farmer's clasp knives had only limited sale in the United States until 1967, when Case introduced its version, the 4 5/8 inch Sodbuster with black composition handles and bird's eye rivets. The liner lock version and a smaller 3 5/8 inch Sodbuster Junior were both brought out in 1970. So, this Case has trademarked the name Sodbuster. Now there are other companies that make knives that look just like this or very similar to this. So they are not Sodbusters. They would be Sodbuster style knives, but only Case can truly call theirs a Sodbuster. So there's just a little bit of the history. This is my one and only, like I said, my one and only Sodbuster. And I just acquired this year because I didn't have any in my collection. And it's the classic. Well, it is the Junior, but it's the classic with the Delrin handles and that nice bird's eye. And very reasonable. I think it was $39 in a farm supply store. What a handy little knife. Very nice knife. So there it is. Now it's going to be story time, so take a ride with Mrs. Knife Delights and I. Well, here we are again, Mrs. KD. What do you think? Now, 2 weeks ago we made this trip, and we didn't have any snow, and it was in the 30s, and now look at...
Oh, yes. Now we're in the minuses, and we got snow.
Yeah, what is it? It's a balmy minus 5 or 6 degrees, I think.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful?
You know what it got down to? It was supposed to be like minus 17 or something like that.
I know, that's what it said for last night. It's night 18 last night.
Was it? Yeah.
Yes.
Crazy stuff.
Great.
Well, you know what? There's this guy, he's got a channel called Happy for Hookers.
It's minus 7 now.
It's minus 7, but the good news is there's no wind, right?
Right, and it's sunny.
It is sunny. And I'm sitting on the sunny side. I'm nice and toasty warm over here, honey.
I'm warm too in this coat.
Are you warm?
Yes.
Well, that's Rush Lake out there. That's a one big marsh, about 600 or 700 acre marsh. Anyway, we're talking about Sodbusters, and you know, that's kind of a name of a knife pattern that Case came up with, but what really is a Sodbuster, honey? You know what a Sodbuster is? It was kind of a derogatory term, I think, towards farmers.
Oh, so then it broke, what it does, bust up sod.
Yeah, so do you know who really came up with the first efficient Sodbuster?
Me?
No, not you. No, this is like back in the mid-1800s or so. I have to look it up. But
Oh, okay.
Mr. John Deere himself.
Really?
Now, you're an Illinois girl. You ought to know about this. In Moline, Illinois, and Mr. John Deere came out with that single row moldboard plow and just revolutionized because out here on the prairie, this sod was very, very hard to bust. You know, it was so thick, the topsoil and the grass and the roots, and it was really a tough thing to bust through that sod. Oh, there it is. Now you can see it. See up in that tree?
Yes.
That great big nest up there?
That's the eagle nest.
I think that's that eagle nest right up there.
I do too. Can you
Oh, I
hope
don't
you guys
see him.
can see it.
Yeah, there's a big nest up in there. Anyway, so you know, I come from a family of sod busters, both on my mom and dad's side.
Well, I grew up in the city.
I know you're a city girl.
That's right.
Yep.
I have no problems with being a city girl and a country girl.
Yeah, you were country before.
Oh,
Oh, there they are. That's what I was hoping to get.
Oh,
Look at the deer. It's finally a calm day.
Oh, no, we got a baby. We got a baby. Watch it.
Yep, one crossing right in front of us, right there.
Oh, he's got a rack.
Oh, look at that rack. Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
We're gonna get down in the draw there. There they go running. Let me see if I can. There it is.
Oh my gosh. Look at them. I just love to watch them.
Look at them run. Look at them run. All right. Yeah, I better keep moving though. We're in the middle of the road, so I gotta keep running. Sorry, folks.
Somebody behind us?
I'm gonna hit pause for just a minute. Okay, honey, we've traveled about, I don't know, 15 miles or so, 10, 15 miles since we had those wonderful deer across the road in front of us. Wasn't that something that I was talking about John Deere, and all of a sudden, there come the deer. Yeah, that's kind of what the prairie kind of looked like. And yeah, they had a hard time busting up that sod. So Mr. John Deere really revolutionized farming. So we're coming into a little town here. There's a grain elevator there, and sometimes on a cold winter day when the sun's out, you'll see them out in the field near the elevator. Sometimes you see like 75 to 100 of them. Look at this beautiful river valley over here. We just love driving through here, through this different seasons. Sometimes it's green and lush. Days like today, not too green or lush, is it, honey?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not supposed to be. It's winter.
Yeah, sometimes there's deer right down in here.
Oh, yes. You got to watch it when you go around that curve.
Yeah, you don't want to hit them. That's why car insurance is so expensive in Iowa, is because of all the car deer accidents. There's tons of them. Come around this little curve down here. Coming up on the elevator on our left. Let's see what we can find. Now this elevator, that's where my dad had his first full-time job as a young man.
Look at the little post office.
Yeah, a little help. Missed the post office. There's our little city hall. Oh, they're not out here today, honey.
Oh, they're not.
No, I don't see them. Well, we get up here around the curve, we might see them. But there's a river just over there, a couple hundred, 200-300 yards.
Right behind the trees.
Right behind the trees, so the deer love to hang out in those trees. Of course, there's spilled grain and everything around the grain elevator. Yep.
Do that to feed them.
I don't see them. Anyway, Dad got paid 50 cents a ton to unload coal cars there. That was kind of his first job. Isn't that something? Yep. Okay, we're going to cut it off here for a minute and see what else we can find. Over. Looky there. Look at all them turkeys. Woohoo! We saw some more deer, but they were way off in the distance. Look at them turkeys. Gobble, gobble. Oh, delicious.
Look how beautiful pheasants.
Yep. Ringneck pheasant. See if we can get them to fly out again. They're up there. Oh, there they go. I don't know if I'm catching them or not. Am I catching them? I don't know.
Yeah, you should be.
There they go. Oh, only got just a few of them though
Did you?
on camera. honey, we kind of got off topic of the Sodbuster, didn't we?
Kinda, yes.
Well, yeah. But it was fun seeing that wildlife.
It was.
Well, it's even though it's cold, it's sunshiny and the wind's not blowing, and we've had such nasty weather for the last couple of weeks. They're probably hungry and they're out foraging. So, yeah.
Well, I
Got some
don't blame
pigeons. Woohoo!
them.
Tasty. Yeah. So anyway, back to the Sodbuster. I was never a Sodbuster, but my father, my mother, you know, they both grew up on farms, and they farmed right after they were married. Dad had a farm. But I come from a long line of farmers. On my dad's side, I've traced back to my great-great-great-grandfather who farmed in Pennsylvania. Then he had his two oldest sons in the 1850s, early 1860s, moved to Illinois, and they farmed in Illinois. The Civil War broke out, and one of them was John Shaw, and he fought all 4 years in the Civil War for an Illinois infantry unit. And his brother, which is my great-great-grandfather, after the war, they both moved to Iowa, and they both farmed here in Iowa. So that's just a little bit of the family history. But it's interesting, I've read accounts of like a diary from a teenage girl that lived in a small settlement, 4 or 5 houses along the river, and in the 1840s, and they talk about the Indians coming and busting into their cabin, and they're looking for food. They want gunpowder and bullets and stuff, so how scared she'd be when they'd bust in and they'd kind of take what they wanted and then they'd leave. She was so scared. So just lots of stories. Another account of a woman, she talked about life on the prairie, and her husband, all they had to really eat was cornmeal, which is not very nutritious at all. And for breakfast, he'd spend an hour to 2 hours just grinding corn up so they'd have cornmeal. He'd do the same thing at lunch and the same thing for supper. So he'd spend 4 to 6 hours a day doing nothing but grinding corn so they could have some cornmeal, have cornmeal patties. Doesn't sound too delicious, does it, honey?
Not at all.
But anyway, you want to go live in a sod house, honey? Let's go build a sod house. No? Okay, well, folks, I'm going to wrap it up. We got to rambling here just a little bit. Hope you've enjoyed it. But, yeah, hunting for hookers. You wanted a little story time, so we gave them a little bit more than a little story time, didn't we?
Yeah, we sure did.
Okay, take care, everybody, and what are they supposed to do, honey?
Have a delightful day.
There you go. Thanks, honey.